Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vinda Andriani. In this opportunity, I would like to reading story about Mirror. New Year's Eve. Nellie, daughter of a general and landlord, a young and beautiful girl who always dreamed of getting married, now sat in her bedroom, staring into the mirror with tired face and sad eyes. His skin was pale, his expression tense, as still as a mirror before him. The sky that was in his image, a narrow corridor that stretched and was flanked by rows of candles. His face, his hands, also the mirror frame, all this had melted with the mist and the expanse of a filled gray sea. The sea was surging and revealed a reddish glow. Seeing Nelly's completely motionless look in her eyes and her parted lips, one could not tell whether she was awake or asleep. But she was clearly looking at something. At first he only saw a smile and a subtle expression full of charisma coming from a pair of someone's eyes. Then against the gray background, the image of a head, face, eyebrow, and beard appeared. That is he, the man that dreams of, to whom she pins all her dreams and hopes. For Nelly, the man is everything, representing the importance of life, happiness, career, and destiny. Outside the figure of the man, as usual, the color of gray behind mirror, there is only darkness, emptiness, and meaninglessness. So it's no wonder that Nelly was filled with happiness when she saw the handsome man's face throwing a gentle smile at her. How it all was a dream that he could not explain in words. Then she heard the man's voice, saw herself living in the same house with him, pushing her life with the man. Months and years passed by, accompanied by the same gray color, and in that way Nelly foresaw her future in the tide. Scan after scan continues to decorate the usual gray color. Now Nelly saw her knocking on the door of Stephen Luckett, a local doctor. Cold winter night, an old dog barked lazily and hoarsely from behind the fence. All the windows of the house where the doctor lived were dark. Suddenly all was quiet. For God's sake, for God's sake, whispered Nelly. But suddenly the gate opened and Nelly saw the doctor's cook. Is Dr. Latchett at home? He is resting, whispered the cook with his wrist over his mouth, as if afraid to wake his master from sleep. He had just returned from a visit to his patient who were sick with a fever and had rationally given order not to wake him up. But Nelly didn't want to hear the cook's explanation. Listen, he burst in through the gate and into the doctor's residence, running through the rooms of the dark and stuffy house and accidentally booming into 2 or 3 chairs. Nelly finally arrived at the doctor's bedroom. Stephen Latches was lying on the bed, still neatly dressed, took without a jacket, and with floating lips breathing into his open palms. Dim night lights shone beside the bed. Wordlessly, Nellie sat down and began to cry. He surveyed his body shaking. "My husband is sick," he exclaimed. Stephen Lunch with silence. Then he rose slowly, leaning his head on his hands and looking at his visitor with sleepy but wide-open eyes. "My husband is sick," Nellie continued, trying to hold back her tears. "Have pity on us quickly. Go together, hurry up. Go there, hurry up." "Who?" groaned the doctor, blowing on the surface of his palm. "Come on, let's go home right now, or I can't bear to think about it. Have mercy on us." The pale and exhausted Nellie began to speak under her breath and swallow her own tears. She explained to the doctor about her husband's illness, as well as the fear he was experiencing. His agony was truly pitiful, but the doctor just stared at him, blew on the surface of his open palm, and remained motionless. "Tomorrow I will come," said the doctor. "Impossible," Nellie thought. "I know my husband has typhus right now. Right now, we need your service. I'll just go home," grumbled the doctor. "I've been visiting typhoid patients for 3 full days. And now I'm also feeling unwell from exhaustion. No, I can't. I also have contracted the same disease. Look." The doctor held out a thermometer for Nellie's temperature. "My temperature is almost 40 degrees. I can't go. I can't even sit up straight. Forgive me. I have to lie down." The doctor lay down. "Please, doctor," Nellie groaned desperately. "I beg, help me. For God's sake, make an effort and visit my house. I will pay for it." "Oh, Lord, didn't I say before?" "Ah!" Nellie jumped to her feet and began packing up and down the doctor's bedroom. She wanted so badly to explain her situation to the doctor, to make him understand. If only the doctor knew how much his husband meant to her, and how sad he was right now. Maybe the doctor would forget about his own tiredness and illness, but how could he do that? "Go to the James," doctor said. Stephen laughed. "Impossible. The doctor lives tens of kilometers from here, and I don't have much time. My horse could go that far either. It is more than 40 kilometers from my house here, and I have to travel about the same distance to get to the residence of the James doctor. No way. Come on, Stephen Latch. I ask you to do your best. Come on, be a hero. Have mercy on us." I I can't do anything. I also have a fever. My head is spinning, but he still doesn't want to understand me. But you have sworn to help the sick. You can't refuse my request. That selfish a human should lay down his life for his neighbor. But you just refuse. I will take you to court. Nellie felt she had just given the doctor an insult that neither deserved nor was it right. But for the sake of her husband, she is willing to do anything, including forgetting logic, manners, and sympathy for others. In response to Nellie's threat, the doctor immediately drank cold water from a glass. Nellie finally knelt in front of the doctor, began like a beggar, and the doctor finally gave up. He got he got up slowly, panting, looking for his jacket. This Nellie should have been the doctor. Let me put it on. Come on, I will repay you. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful to you. But the doctor called. After putting on the jacket, the doctor lay down again. Nellie pulled him to his feet and dragged him toward the front door. Then, with great difficulty, he helped the doctor put on his boots long coat, searched for his lost hat, and finally they arrived in the horse-drawn carriage. Now they have to drive more than 40 kilometers, and her husband will get help. The road seemed to be covered in the darkness. It was so dark that even the handrails in front of the eyes could not be seen. The winter wind was blowing hard. Under the wheels of the carriage were huddlings of snow. The coachman had to stop several times and decide which route to take. Nellie and the doctor sat in the carriage without speaking, even though the trip went through a lot of shocks. The two train passengers didn't feel it. They also did not feel the cold air. Come on, quickly, Nellie ordered the coachman. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the exhausted horse finally arrived in the yard. Nellie saw the familiar gate, the well and the crane and the rows of barns and stables. They had arrived at their destination. Wait a minute, I will be right back, Nellie said to Stephen Luckett, motioning for the doctor to sit on the dining room sofa. Sit here and wait a moment. Let me see how my husband is. You found returning to the dining room. Nellie found the doctor lying on the couch with his mouth muttering. Doctor, who asked Domna, muttered Stephen Ledge. What? They said at the meeting earlier. Bishop said, who? What? Overcome by a growing fear, Nellie realized that the doctor had also reached the stage of delirium like her husband. What should she do? I have to go to the James doctor, he decided. Once more he darted away into the darkness of the night, buffeted by a cold wind and shaken by a violent mass of snow. He was suffering physically and mentally, and he could cover it up or pretend to make it go away. Then she saw through the grey house how her husband was always short of money every spring, having trouble paying the bank their mortgage. The husband could sleep, Nelly could sleep either, and both of them tried and find a way out until they had heart uh, haunted by the terror that one day they will be visited by beliefs especially that with collecting their debt. Nelly also saw the reflections of her children, how vulnerable they were to contracting flu, dog fever, and diphtheria. In addition, their children will also go through periods where they get bad grades at school or are separated from one another. Nelly believed that at least one of her 5 or 6 children would die. The gray color bias is also not completely protected from death. No wonder a husband and wife cannot die at the same time. Whatever happens, one must bury the other, and Nelly saw how her husband lay dying. The situation was pictured in detail in his head. He saw coffin candles, trees, and footprints of coffin carriers in the house. Why? What's for? Asked Nelly, staring blankly at her husband's face. And all and all the events in their lives that he imagined before seemed stupid compared to what was happening now. Something fell from Nelly's grasp and burned to the floor. He was startled, stood up, and opened his eyes wide. Near his feet was a mirror. Another mirror still stand on her dresser. He looked into the mirror and saw a face with traces of tears. No more gray bears now. I must have fallen asleep. He thought with a sigh of relief. That's all from me. Thank you very much for all of your best attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.